Welcome back to the MrShowTym podcast. Now, I guarantee you probably clicked on this video expecting some happy-go-lucky talking points, talking about, oh wow, the upcoming Rugby World Cup 2023. Oh, it's going to be fun and exciting for the Springboks. Oh yeah, this lekker hier te wees. Just like who? Just like a lot of these rugby review channels over here on YouTube. I refer to them as clones. You know why? Because they all regurgitate the same type of narratives. So they come on here, they come on YouTube, right? And what they do is they read to you a bunch of stats. The same type of stats you can easily Google on YouTube. Oh, what's the passing rate and the tackle rates of the Springboks versus the Wallabies? All of these channel rugby review guys, they offer you the exact same product, the exact same style. They come on here and they just read you a bunch of stats. What is it that I'm getting from you that I can't get from Googling on YouTube? You're regurgitating about the stats, guys. And of course they say, oh the Springboks played well against the All Blacks, and that Pollard, you better slotted all them kicks through, hey, and it's next time we're facing them in Ellis Park, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be tough, hey. Now, technically speaking, to be in all honesty, there's nothing wrong with that per se. It's just that you're boring. You're boring. And then MrShowTym comes into the picture. I give you a transparency, deep analysis with what's going on with the Springboks. Now, when I come into the picture, I come into the mix, MrShowTym does his, deep analysis on what's happening with the Springboks and whatnot. You know what I get? Get all sorts of pushback from your average normie NPC who thinks he knows a bit about rugby, but you actually don't. How do I know this? If I go out to a sports bar or a pub, right? Most people aren't interested in what the pre-match build-up, Nick Mallet, Jean de Villiers has to say about, the shimmy, Gowani, right? They don't care about what they have to say about, the current state of the Springboks and the pre-match build-up. The average NPC, non-playable character, your average normie, they'll sit there and they'll just wait for, Jean de Villiers, they're talking on the mic, and Victor Matfield, the build-up and whatnot, and they'll only tune in when it's kickoff time. When, when Andre Pollard actually, kicks the ball off, kickoff, that's when people, start watching. And after the match is done, on up until the final whistle, full time. Did we win? Yay, we lost. I'm so upset. The bloody ref. And then you get your post-match interview. People aren't tuned into that. They don't care. And I'm sitting around here watching. I just can't help but, analyze people. They don't care. As soon as that final whistle blows for full time, people, they tune out, they leave, they go, well, what backup story? We won? Oh yeah, pack it up. They leave. They don't care about what the analysts, the match experts had to say afterwards. They really couldn't care less. Except for some people like me, such as myself. I give you deep analysis, and people look at me with a side eye because the Springboks aren't doing well. There's certain shenanigans that are happening with the Springbok coaching staff, and it's really proven to be our detriment. this whole quota system and transformation, and transformation I half agree with. But there's certain aspects, we're going too far up to a point where it's like WTF. I only half agree with transformation because, yes, give certain players a chance, that deserve it. And over the years, we've seen a whole generation of players of color coming into the mix, and they're spectacular. But to now force certain things, to force a round circle into a square peg, such as, Mzwandile Stick and Deon Davids. They coached the Southern Kings in Super Rugby 2016 to 2017, and they did poorly. And I've done previous breakdowns of this, and people totally ignored that part. The fact that they got hammered in 2017. What are they doing at national level? Why are they coaching at national level? They don't deserve it. They don't qualify. People totally ignore that, and they focus on the emotional aspect. Oh, how could you? Why are you hating on Mzwandile Stick? You're so full of hate, and you're misogynist. Like, you can call me all sorts of names, but one thing people haven't been able to call me is a liar. They've thrown all sorts of shade in my direction in the comment section. Oh, you're just hating on Mzwandile Stick, and how dare you? Deon Davids and Mzwandile Stick, they're getting too much flack. And do they qualify to be there? Yes or no? Now, some people might say yes just to troll me, just to stick it to me. Yes, they deserve to be there. No, they do not. With that Super Rugby track record in 2000, that terrible losing streak in 2000 with the Southern Kings. No, they do not. There's other coaches, but again, because of quotas and transformation, to appease a certain demographic of people, to have certain people that look like them up there will appease them. Okay, but at what expense? At the expense of us losing? Another aspect that really grinds my gears. When you tell the average Springbok supporter, you see, Springbok fans are juvenile. We are. Not me, but most fans. These diehard fans. Listen, it's nice to be a diehard fan, but have some bit of rationale, shall we? Have some bit of mature thinking. When you tell the average South African that in 2019 Rugby World Cup, that quarterfinal against Wales, we got lucky. Had it not been for Francois Lowe making the turnover, we probably would have conceded a penalty. Dan Bigger would have kicked it over for 3 points, and we would have lost. I'm not saying that would have happened for certain, but I'm just saying that most likely, our backs were against the wall, and we were in our own half. Anything could have happened, and the Springboks are not the sort of team to make those turnover wins like the All Blacks tends to do, especially in the dying minutes of the game. Now, yes, we won the Rugby World Cup in 2019. Kudos to us. But now tell the average South African, if we were in a different pool, because our journey towards the final was a very easy one. We had Japan in the quarterfinals. Japan, really. We had Wales. We should have walked over Wales as well. But because of our silly, stupid scope and yak box kicking tactics, we put ourselves under pressure. We should have scored more points than we did against Wales. And then, by some godly miracle, England, I don't know, they were burnt out in the final. Now imagine if we had a different pool where we faced Ireland in the quarterfinals. Would we have won? I doubt it. Even though we've never really faced Ireland in a World Cup fixture. Imagine if we faced England in the quarterfinals, the way they played. Would we have won? I severely doubt it. The All Blacks had an easier... the All Blacks had a harder run. We had an easier journey. Can we just all agree on that? Put your emotions aside and can you just all agree that the Springboks had an easier route towards the final. Yes, we beat England in the final, but I don't know what went wrong. What happened with England? Now we have a clownery coaching staff that is not capable of coaching, right? Running the stick shouldn't be coaching at national level, but because to appease a certain demographic of people, to have someone that looks like them, that's all she wrote. Which other country does this in World Rugby? I don't hear the Australian Aboriginals, the Samoans, the Maori people in New Zealand crying about transformation. The best man gets the jersey. You earn your colours. Damien Willemse has earned his colours. Sia Kolisi has earned his colours. Cradley Ironson has earned his colours. Mani Libok has earned his colours. Spectacular guys. That's the system we need to implement. Not, okay, you have a certain shade of melanin, so regardless of your terrible track record in Super Rugby, coaching the Southern Kings, we're just going to slap you up there. And anyone who dares to criticize you, you're racist, you're full of hate, mister. How dare you go after Dion Davidson and Johnny Stick? How dare you? And a lot of those people who are, busy slamming me for my sentiments, they're just trying to appear a certain way. They know I'm right. But they're trying to appear woke in the comment section where everyone, in public, where everyone can see. But deep inside, they know I'm right. Okay? So therefore, stop it. And then we have Jacques Nienaber as our head coach, who doesn't know how to coach. And I'll tell this to his face. Jacques Nienaber doesn't know how to coach. He only has one singular approach to every single game plan. Hence why other teams have been able to read us. Did you notice, whenever we play the Wallabies, whenever Faf de Klerk is setting up a boss kick, the defense line, they immediately retreat backward. They turn their back because they know that, a boss kick is coming, so get ready for the counter-attack. They immediately start turning their backs because, box kick is coming, so get ready for... That's the annoying thing about the Springboks. The Springboks, our biggest crutch, it's not necessarily the referee, the biased 50-50 calls that tends to go against us. I acknowledge that. It happens. Because, World Rugby doesn't like the Springboks very much. They don't want us to win. But that's not our biggest crutch. I'll tell you what's our biggest crutch. We wouldn't be losing the majority of the matches, those 50-50 calls, if we don't put ourselves in a position to be in those 50-50 calls to begin with. Because we really put ourselves under pressure. Because I don't like Buddha-style type of rugby. This over-emphasis on forwards. Troki all the time. And then you neglect catching to the back line. The only time where the ball goes to the back line is to, for the forwards to recuperate and regather themselves. And then, it's back again to the forwards. The one time the Springboks decide to swing the ball to the back line, all the way up to the wingers, and then they actually gain some ground, they actually score some tries, but the coaching staff is like, there's lack of amount, but back to forwards, Troki. If the Springboks refuse to evolve and acknowledge and change our approach with the mindset that, hey, listen, other teams have figured us out. They nullify our forwards and then the backline is exposed because our coaches don't cater to our backline often. We're over-dependent on our forwards. And all they had to do really is just match our forwards in terms of physicality. We're going to be in the gutters. Springbok rugby is going to be in the gutters if we refuse to evolve. Just other nations have evolved to match our forwards. This over-dependence of forwards with us, it's really killing us. And then it's like, the time the ball goes to the back line, We actually gained some running ground and we score tries. But and then we immediately go back to depending on the forwards, playing with our forwards where we struggle. And at some point it's like, yo. But anyway, listen. Another point I'd like to talk about. I don't like how the Springboks, how SA Rugby is used as a tool, a theater of racial harmony. I've seen enough depictions and these documentaries come out. Oh, in South Africa, racial equality, racial harmony, and the Springboks. The journey towards the 2019 Rugby World Cup actually began in Robben Island back in the 1940s. I'm like, yo, can you guys stop that already? We had our big celebration in '95, celebrating like democracy, and it was very symbolic when Francois Pienaar, wearing the number 6 jersey, won the Rugby World Cup as captain and shaking hands with the great late Nelson Mandela. That was spectacular. And we've prolonged that since. That's been our theme ever since. And it's really getting old. Now we have Siya Kolisi, the first black captain, wearing the number 6 jersey as symbolic of him taking the torch from Francois Pienaar and carrying the hopes of aspiring black kids in Khayelitsha and Eastern Cape, that they can do anything they want regardless of race, color. I'm like, yo, can y'all stop this? Rugby now, if you notice, it's become less about actually winning results and more about this whole this theater, these portrayals. Rugby in South Africa it's a symbol of bringing all ethnic and races together in perfect. Like, yo, when are you gonna stop? We get it. Since 1995, we get it. This doesn't happen in other sporting codes in South Africa. This doesn't happen with soccer. This doesn't happen with our netball team. This doesn't happen with our hockey. Those people, they just play. If we win, we win. We lose. But in South Africa, it's like this whole symbolic thingy. It's like, yo, to a degree, it's like, can we just focus on the winning and results, please? Without making it symbolic of these. You know what I mean? But coming back to our coaching staff, my biggest problem with the Springboks, it's not just my biggest problem, this is not my opinion, this is fact. Our Springbok coaching staff was this: Jacques Nienaber, Dion Davids, Mzangi the Stick. Mawuqhubeka nalo msangano wabo lo boss kicking sodliwa nge-World Cup. Sodliwa. Lo msangano lo bawenzayo. Hayi inkosi impela bawudlisa. Hierdie ons sal ons sal vir ons verloor. Cut that. Right? But anyway, man, listen. There's a lot of shenanigans that are happening within the SA Rugby. There's too much off-field portrayals, shenanigans happening. Listen, Siya Kolisi is not a 6. Siya Kolisi shouldn't be wearing the number 6 jersey. Siya Kolisi is not a fetcher. He's an open side flanker. He's more of an on-the-ball carrier. Now, if you're going to be a 6, you better be making those turnovers like Malcolm Marx, Kwagga Smith. Siya Kolisi is not a 6. He shouldn't be playing in the number 6 jersey. He should be wearing the number 7 jersey. But no, because of symbolism and, taking the torch from Francois Pienaar, other teams, they make adjustments. Remember when the All Blacks were struggling last year? They X'd some of their coaching staff and they replaced them with more competent coaches. Why aren't we doing here the same here in South Africa? Oh no, because firing him under the stick and Dion Davids, oh that's unfair. Sorry, if you don't make the cuts, then sorry. I thought we were operating more of a merit-based system. We're not. Obviously, we no longer do. It's symbolism before merit. 20 minutes have gone by. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, the ball, like Mark what's his name? Mark Keohane from SA Rugby. Always betting on the Springboks, even he himself knows that we're probably gonna lose this match. We're probably gonna have a tough time with that. Yeah, Bucker for the win. Like, yo, dude. It's nice to be a Springbok fan. I'm not saying bet against you, but like at some point, just be realistic. At some point, yeah. But anyway, I've gone on a long tangent. Listen, I am not your happy-go-lucky Mickey Mouse Clubhouse canned response type of content creator. I'm not. I give you the most honest, brutal honesty. I'm not like these other rugby review channels. The Springboks are playing the All Blacks and the stats, the kicking rates is at 62% and 100 per odd is thingy. No. Oh, and trust him, Xavier Stick and Dion Davids, and they're the best coaches we have. Sorry, I suck at pretending. I don't have, to be honest, we're not gonna win. We're not gonna be able to successfully defend the Rugby World Cup this year. We're not. And another thing, Jock, can I tell you something? If you're watching, you're nothing without Ross Erasmus by your side. Yes. Put that on your pipe and smoke it. You're nothing. So long as people are cheering that, oh, Russ Erasmus came back into the mix and he's going to be at the stadium, what does that communicate? People don't trust Jacques Nienaber. And rightfully so. They're just too afraid to say it. How can people be excited about someone who's no longer the coach over someone who's currently a head coach? Oh, Russ Erasmus is coming back. Yay! No one cares about Jacques Nienaber. Obviously. Rightfully so. Because he ain't ish without Russ Erasmus by his side. Dear SA Rugby, if you don't stop your shenanigans and hire people on a merit-based system, don't expect positive results. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Cheers.